All right, so welcome to week 3 in the our LMS course and week 2 in the production of my LMS. Okay, so last week I was able to get all of the required components into the module, but since we really focused on formative assessment this week, I wanted to spend this week thinking about how I would use these community spaces as formative assessment spaces. Now, I have to say, I got further in thinking about how they would function for individual users to get feedback to improve their practice, and less how the teacher would use those spaces to evaluate and give students formative feedback. But let's go in and just take a look at a couple of things, and I want to show you the same things from a student perspective. All right, so starting with the forum space. So here inside of the objectives forum, you can see that I put in a discussion item here, and this is really designed as a formative assessment. It's called Varying Verbs, and here's my prompt. One of the keys to writing strong objectives is the ability to vary the verbs used. And so what I do is I walk the user through an example of how to take a learning standard and then to write 3 different teaching objectives with varied verbs. More. So this is a chance to practice and get feedback, which is what makes it a formative rather than a summative assessment. Okay, going. Also the chat room. So as you can see, different teachers could be in this chat space and talk about the objectives that they're writing. If you can imagine that more than just I would be in here, the chat could go forward. The wiki space. Now, the wiki space is I'm having really a lot of trouble with it because I've done a lot of work in wiki spaces, and the interface is way easier. I wanted to set up a space where I was posting an article and folks could talk about what they were seeing in the article inside of the wiki. So here I got in the text, I found a great article on lesson alignment and posted it in the files section of the wiki. I love to know your thoughts after reading it. Well, that's because I couldn't get it in this space. I had to put it in this file space. If you go here, you can download this great article, Maximizing Learning Through Course Alignment. Then you can always use the comments space. There are no comments right now, but we could talk about the article in the comments space, or anyone with the ability to edit the wiki can go into edit here and add to this space. The last thing I want to show you is the student view. Moodle Stewart 01, and this is how you will log into my wiki next week. Password. Okay, gonna log in. All right, so now I'm logged in as Moodle Stewart, and I can only get into this course. Go to my home. As you can see, I only have this one course that I'm registered for. Now we can see that Nikki Stewart, the teacher, as well as Moodle Stewart, the user, are in here. And now we can go in. I can go into the chat room, for example. Testing, and now I am in the chat room as Moodle Stewart. I have access to the wiki. I can see the files in the wiki, and over time, of course, the wiki is built by the participants. I can also go into that forum, go into the varying verbs, and reply. Test reply. And as you can see, my post was successfully added. Now, let's go back in to the forum, varying verbs. You can see that there's now starting to be a discussion. All right, so that's some of the ways that I'm going to use the community spaces as formative assessment spaces here inside of my module. And I look forward to developing more, getting more feedback from you, and continuing to make this great this week.